I'm back. I apologize for being a little bit late here on the community one. I'm getting a fence installed. I've been trying to get installed for the last 4 weeks, and it's they finally showed up. They were supposed to come here after 9:30, and they showed up at 8:45. And I love promptness, but man, that was terrible timing. So, but they're good on their own. We can get this party started. Again, guys, it's Friday. Don't push your luck. If you're trying to trade today and you're already green, just be green, guys. We're dumping. I mean, 417 is going to be a landmine area. We'll adjust those settings. I'm going to keep this call fairly short and sweet, guys, because it is Friday and I do got to go, but I don't want to leave you without any kind of guidance today. As you guys see, we had a nice little sell-off with the news of, the job openings and the non-farm payroll. All that stuff is just, it's looking good for the economy, which is bad for the inflation. So, or not is bad for the Fed rate. So, I mean that's why we dump, right? And so, I mean, you have a clear kind of down here. You got your kind of bear flag. It couldn't break this level with some bad news. Bam, down we go. So, and you can see we're fighting that 420 level. And if this thing cracks, we're going to 417. So, if you're going to set some calls, I'll give you the short and sweet numbers. I would set them down in this range here, 418, 420. Or 418 to 418.50, somewhere in here. We can get a pretty nice bounce from that. So you're setting your puts. You could if this is again if, right, we're speculating, if we break this and we come down here, you can actually set a put potentially off of that 420 if we start to get some bearish sentiment, like diversions, things like that. Because it's likely going to be a breakdown, a pump up retest, and then a break back down. If we break this level of 417.62, we are going down. Maybe not all at once, right? Our next level support's like 414, 411 in here. And then we're going down to 405, 406, something like that. So just keep an eye on that, right? With the SPY, I mean, that's going to obviously work to the markets as well. On the 1 hour, we're just going to talk about it really quickly. The harmonics, it's interesting how these harmonics keep you safe. Look at this indicator. We called our long. It stayed short. I mean, it called this short, which is perfect. And look, no long call this whole time. No long call. Didn't get faked out. I mean, you can't trade the divergence any better. We had our bullish divergence pumped up. It had our bearish divergence dumped. I mean, it's literally the guidance is there for you. You just got to be able to read it, right? Our gap fill. Let's look and see how it was before the dump. I'm curious to see what it was calling. Right, so you can see pretty balanced. Gap fill wasn't really calling anything other than we were in our upper band. Keep an eye too. Our band did flip purple up here, which is typically bearish. That one does repaint a little bit because it's more of a guide to keep you in a range. We're ridiculously out of this range, right? But again, today's Friday and it's news. So I mean, don't get too full chasing this drop, right? I mean, we're still, if we hold this support at open, we're just going to keep ranging at that 420 to 425. So do not chase. Don't chase, guys. I'm telling you, this is where our technology. If you guys are new to it, this is our technology. We use what's called Live Trader. You set your trading for options. It's amazing. You just set your settings and let it roll. It'll take over for you. So, but be careful because we may not be done going down. You look at if we look at the 21 and the 200 SMA, EMA, I mean, we were just like ridiculously below the 21 with this candle now. So we got to see where it settles. We got to see where it settles. For me, I'm not going to chase this dump. I'm not going to chase a pump. Now, if I see, for example, to your point, John, on like a continuation based on new numbers, right? I would look at this a little different. I would say, okay, if we break above this 422.50 range, I'm going to ride that up because we got about $1 before we even get to the 21, right? So those are some adjustments we're going to make on that Live Trader. Once I'm done with this call, I'll send those out. Keep in mind, guys, if those of you in the community, the settings I put out, a lot of people requested it to be early, and so I get them out early, right, as best I can. The downside of getting them out too early is that news changes, right? It shifts. Normally, if it shifts, but I'm okay with it, I don't say nothing. I'll just let it roll. Today has shifted a lot. I mean, we dropped, $6 pretty much in a matter of like 5 minutes, right? So the news is obviously a big deal today, so we're going to adjust those numbers. And so, like I told people, you guys can see here. This is the insights we give out people every day. If you guys are looking for guidance, but the trading floor here, you can see. I mean, we put out here, right? The payroll came out, it's tanking the market between the updates and stuff. I'm about to make some updates, right? Like I put it here, and this is what I stand by. If you are on, if you cannot watch it and you're working, you cannot make adjustments on Friday. Sit out. Every single person in our community is green, or should be. If you aren't, you're being quiet because nobody said anything, and you're not following instructions because everything we've put out has been green this week. So you should be green. If you can't watch it today, sit out. Don't push it. Don't push it. I have seen so many people give it back on Friday. You just give it back and it's stupid. Enjoy the wins, right? We got some movement. It's going to be a great trading day for those that can be in the room. We may do some training. We may do some trading, guys. I mean, if the market's moving, I'm gonna take advantage of the wins, right? I mean, we normally don't trade on Fridays because we don't have that time, but if we see some obvious opportunities coming up, I mean, let's make some money. So I'll put those ranges out here after this little call. But that's kind of my SPY update, guys. I'm not gonna really run any numbers on any of the other stuff because I do gotta go because I have that. Got my fence people here. I gotta go help out, but I will put those ranges out. Let's take a look. I will look at the dollar quickly. I mean, look what the dollar did. Jeez, but look what it did. Look at that. Bam, hit right on our trend line. Right on the trend line, just rejected. It's gonna squeeze. If it breaks this, it's going back up to here, right? Back up to our zone tracker's resistance level. It broke above the 200. I mean, it just took off, right? And so, but if it this is a good key level to watch, the 106.84, because if it breaks below this, it's gonna drop, right? And then we're gonna pump back up. But it did break back above that level. It is way above the 200. I mean, you can see normally it's like this, but news kind of pushed it up. So this dropping back for a retest would not shock me. Before it pushes back up, which would cause the markets to go up before going back down. So just be careful with your calls. When the news is bearish, we can get a nice little market open push if we get oversold. So this we're looking at the Dixie right now, but the SPY is what we trade. So, like I said, although we may get a little bounce in the market open, I mean, the news is obviously bearish. So we'll make some adjustments in the room as they come. So, I mean, look at the dollar just climbing with support. I mean, the VIX, look at this, up to 19.65, but there's heavy resistance in here. So if this VIX breaks the 21.3 or so, you could probably take let's look at this real quick. So the VIX rejected right here, 20.84. So if it breaks 21.25, I mean, the next stop for the VIX is like 23, 24. So it's got some room to go, that's for sure. You can almost take this trend line, adjust it like that a little bit. It's something you can watch. So interesting enough, Bitcoin tanked, but not as far as I thought it would. It did similar to the SPY, right? It's finding some support at this lower pivot here. We are below the 200 now, though. A push up and a rejection here will be super bearish. I would say I would be really careful taking any kind of longs on Bitcoin unless you get back down to this trend line and you hold support, which would be around 26.9, maybe 26.8. But you gotta hold above this. I would look for some bullish divergence. I mean, it's just, remember the news was bearish. So the only thing I would do is from the upside is if you flip back above this 27.5 or something like that, right? You can take a nice little long scalp. But there's lots of, I mean, when you zoom out, I mean, we got down here would be a gap fill from this push, for me. So that's what I would watch today, guys. Again, it is Friday. If you are up, don't push it. There's no reason to push it. But that's all I got, guys. Those looking for these live trader updates, I will. That's the first thing I'm gonna do when I turn this off. I will open up the room in about 15 minutes. Here, guys. What kind of candles? I use regular candles. I'm gonna go ahead and end the community call here. I'll leave on TikTok just for a moment to answer some questions.